hundreds of thousands pack the streets for the 2025 Calgary Stampede Parade.
Some of my favorite parts have been the horses, and the energy is amazing.
Canadian country superstar Shania Twain leads the party. Plus, warnings about the Stampede crowds if you're unvaccinated.
Measles is world class in its ability to infect people.
Fears about a super spreader event for those who haven't taken precautions. And special delivery to a war zone.
It was something. It really put everything into perspective.
While this Calgarian drove across Europe to drop a military vehicle on Ukraine's front lines.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Thousands are kicking it up at the Calgary Stampede tonight. The greatest outdoor show on earth is now on and already going strong. Stampede Park is alive with people going on rides, taking in shows and concerts, and of course, the world-famous rodeo too. And you know it won't let up for the next 10 days. Now, some tonight might be a little worried about those dark clouds you can see overhead. We'll ask Danielle about that in just a moment. Hello, and thank you for joining us. Happy Stampede. Calgary's greatest tradition roared back to life this morning with more than 100 entries marching, riding, and dancing their way through downtown. The 2025 Stampede Parade was a celebration of culture, community, and a whole lot of horsepower. Mark Villani joins us from Stampede Park tonight. So, Mark, what's it like on the grounds there following this morning's parade?
Well, Tara, you can really feel the energy here. There's just a sea of cowboy hats behind me. You can smell the mini donuts. You can hear that amazing Calgary Stampede show band playing in the distance here just at the BMO Center. It's a lot of fun, and a lot is going on here around us. It all kicked off with an incredible parade this morning. The music's loud, the crowds are back, and Calgary's downtown just turned into a 5-kilometer-long celebration.
It's the Calgary Stampede, greatest outdoor show on earth. You can't say any more, can you?
I love how the band goes so loud, and I love the hype that they always give.
From Stetsons to sequins to the sacred steps of Indigenous culture, this year's Stampede Parade delivered nonstop sights, sounds, and surprises, surrounded by more than 700 horses.
Wait, actually? Actually, you're serious?
Yes. A lot of horse poop, hey?
That's more than my brain cells.
Thousands of performers joined in, but one legendary country superstar stole the spotlight.
The spirit of the West is alive and well here in Calgary.
Calgary rolled out the red carpet for Parade Marshal Shania Twain ahead of her performance at the Saddle Dome on Saturday.
If anybody's got any tickets, let me know.
This is really just about a personal exchange with Calgary, with the Stampede, and I'll feel like this is my grand welcome.
A crowd of 330,000 packed the route, among them proud parents.
We have hockey parents in the band this year, and these are hockey things, but they're now band things.
It's actually awesome. Yeah. To be honest with you, yeah.
Marching bands and mounted color parties galloped throughout downtown, joined by police officers, members of the Canadian Armed Forces, and firefighters. The parade boasted all sorts of different forms of transportation and some scary costumes. All of it alongside 35 floats. For those at the judging table, the stakes were glittering.
I'm going to be looking for sparkles, bedazzles, anything rhinestoned. Obviously, as a Calgarian, Stampede means truly everything to me, more than my birthday and Christmas combined.
Calgary's multiculturalism also took center stage, featuring Chinese dancers and Caribbean drummers. A Filipino fiesta, the unity of Ukrainians, and a poignantly themed float from Calgary's Ismaili Muslim Association. Politicians took to the grounds too, hoping to put aside differences.
Great to be in my hometown of Calgary for the greatest outdoor show on earth.
Stampede is about community. It's about looking after your neighbors. It's about having fun and smiling together, and we need that more than ever.
For newcomers to the city, it's a chance to see something brand new, the second largest parade in North America, only behind the Rose Bowl.
It's really cool to see, like in Colorado, Colorado, we have rodeos, but we don't have a parade like this.
And while the parade lasts just a couple hours, the planning never stops.
The parade is put together by 200 volunteers. We work all year round. We'll start working on next year's parade in about, a week or so.
A celebration to kick off a full 10 days of fun.
Let's go, cowgirls.
Now, with global attention still on Calgary following last month's G7 summit, surely the Stampede looking to get more momentum in the economic category. We're looking for a big economic boost from this Stampede. On average, we see about $280 million alone generated just from this one event. The Midway once again buzzing tonight, and if the energy from the parade this morning is any indication, we should be having a very thundering Stampede.
Thank you, Mark. Go get yourself some donuts. We'll check in with you again in a little bit. We'll check in with Danielle now. What sort of night is ahead? The sky's looking a little bit dark out there.
Yeah, I know it's looking a little ominous, Tara, but really Calgary should mainly remain on the far outside edge of this system that's approaching from the States. So areas like Lethbridge, Pincher Creek could see 20 millimeters of rain. But where we are in Calgary, it may just touch on us a little bit. Our best chance of getting any sort of rainfall is tomorrow morning, and even that looks like just a light sprinkle. It's 18 degrees. We do have the cloud cover from the system, and it's a little windy here and there, and that will be this story on and off through the next 24 hours because we're on the outside edge of this system. So again, we get to about a 40% chance of an isolated shower for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, a similar high to today of 19, and the afternoon should remain mainly dry but windy. More details coming up, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. 1.3 million people are expected to pour through the gates of the Calgary Stampede over the next 10 days, but some could have measles. And so doctors are warning particular individuals to be careful. Jacqueline Wilson explains.
Whether it's a packed parade, midway, or indoor Stampede event, people are everywhere, and that might include people infected with measles, a highly contagious virus that can remain in the air for a couple of hours.
Measles is world-class in its ability to infect people with relatively minor amounts of contact. So I think the question would be more, where couldn't you get it at the Stampede? And the answer to that is probably outside, probably in rides where, there's a lot of movement.
Dr. Talbot says Stampede checks the boxes for potentially being a super spreader event as Alberta experiences an outbreak.
To be a super spreader event, there are a couple of things that need to be in place. One, you need to have a highly infectious virus, and measles qualifies for that. There needs to be activity in the province, which is still happening, and you need to have venues in which large numbers of people from around the world will gather together.
As people made their way to the grounds, few are concerned.
No, we don't have any concern about that. We're okay, I think.
Didn't even think about it. No, not really. They've all been vaccinated, so that's probably part of it.
No, because I've been vaccinated.
The most recent reporting shows there are 11 new cases of measles in Alberta, bringing the total to 1,190.
We are concerned that there will be broader measles spread, and in particular, people from either regions of the province that haven't had measles yet or other parts of Canada or internationally.
While the risk to fully vaccinated adults is relatively low, it's those who are not vaccinated, pregnant, under 5 years old, or immunocompromised who should be careful.
The individual risk is relatively low, especially if you're fully vaccinated. Go on and enjoy, the Stampede is a party, but we do have to be mindful that there is a rather potent virus out there this year.
And Jackie is overlooking Stampede grounds tonight. So Jackie, what does Stampede officials say about this?
Yes, Tara. So the Stampede actually sent me a statement this afternoon. Let me read it to you. So they say that they are committed to providing that safe and enjoyable experience for everyone who is visiting Stampede Park. They're encouraging all guests to follow the guidance of the public health authorities. And if you are feeling unwell or experiencing symptoms of illness, they do ask you to stay home. Tara?
Okay, Jackie, thank you.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
5 carbon capture and storage projects in Alberta are getting an influx of federal funding. Ottawa has announced more than $21.5 million will go to utilizing and advancing the technology, seen as a key to meeting emission goals. Tim Brooke has more on the funding and on the relationship the feds are hoping it helps.
Standing in front of the new federal government catchphrase, Canada's new Minister of Energy and Natural Resources says he's trying to send a message.
When I gave my first speech as a minister just 6 short weeks ago, it was here in Alberta, and I promised to be back soon. I'm keeping my promise.
Tim Hodgson also came with funding and flattery, hoping to lower the temperature on a hot-button emissions reduction debate with Edmonton.
Working closely with provinces is crucial, and I have to say Alberta is an MVP in our game plan.
That plan will see almost $22 million go toward Alberta-based carbon capture, utilization, and storage technologies. It'll give money to 5 different projects, the largest chunk going here to a gas extraction plant outside Cochrane.
We are advancing the first phase of the Bow Valley Carbon Hub, and we will be capturing and sequestering CO2 from existing operations that will be safely and permanently stored 4 kilometers underground.
The aim is to capture 40,000 tons of CO2 a year, roughly equivalent to taking 12,000 cars off the road annually. And that stored carbon can later be used in other industries.
We're just scratching the surface now on the opportunities on carbon. So it's sort of like putting your money in a bank for later use, in my opinion.
Alberta's energy minister says he's hoping the investment is a sign of what's to come, and his next priority isn't a surprise.
Is this prime minister? Is this minister going to be strong enough to, deal with some opposition and say, we need a pipeline?
The federal minister promises his office will examine any other proposals as they come in. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Cochrane.
Enbridge will also get $4 million through the funding, and Enhance Energy will receive $5 million for separate storage hubs in central Alberta. Still to come on CTV News, a chain reaction for good. A member of the Calgary Fire Department donates a kidney, and it doesn't end there. It sparked a wave of giving and life-saving. And power failures now starting in parts of Europe, still in the grips of a blistering heat wave. We are back in 1 minute. If you've got a news tip, you can text us anytime at 10-400. A terrifying scene at highway speed when a woman was sideswiped by a transport truck. This happened in New Brunswick when the rig forces the woman's SUV off the road. The semi then continues through the median and onto the other side of the road before crashing and rolling. Officials from the transport company say the driver suffered a medical emergency behind the wheel. The driver was responsive and transported to hospital. The woman tells CTV she was shaken up, but otherwise okay. A Calgary Fire Department mechanic will be honored at the Stampede on Monday for his heroic act of donating an organ. Last December, Nick Clayson decided he would save a life by donating a kidney, and now he's urging others to give the gift of life too. Tyson Fedor reports.
Nick Clayson is back to his day job working on Calgary fire trucks to ensure they are mechanically sound before responding to calls. But last year, he responded to a growing need to become a kidney donor. Clayson's friend died of kidney failure several years ago. Ever since, he's wanted to do something to help others facing the same disease.
And I had always regretted not doing something about that, like being tested to see whether I could have been a match. So I promised myself that if the call ever came, that I'd respond to that call.
In December, he flew to Michigan to have surgery, not realizing at first who would receive his organ. It ended up being a teacher from California who was hard to match, but it didn't end there.
This series of transplants led to the transplant of a first responder community member in New York. He's a veteran. He was a first responder at the Twin Towers when 9/11 happened.
All I know is that it's been the most rewarding experience of my life.
The 65-year-old worked with Kidneys for Communities that matches donors with those in need of one.
It would have taken that teacher hundreds and hundreds of donors to have found a match, which, it's just not a practical thing.
There are around 100,000 people in Canada and the U.S. waiting for a kidney. They spend 5 to 7 years on a wait list. Many end up dying.
We know that 1 out of every 3 patients who has a donor do not match their donor.
Now, Clayson wants more Albertans to become organ donors.
I think there's a lot of fear attached to becoming a donor, or whether it be a liver donor or a kidney donor, that kind of thing, because we're afraid for our own health. Even if it resonates in the heart of even several people to donate, it'll be worth it.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Clayson says there are plans being worked out to eventually meet his recipient from California. If you want to become an organ donor, you can visit the Government of Alberta's website or fill in a form at a registry. We have an update now on a story we brought you last week about a woman who had a stroke shortly after giving birth. On June 5th, Ifak Shakti gave birth to a baby girl in an uncomplicated delivery, but a week later she suffered a stroke. Her medical team believes high blood pressure led to a rare complication postpartum. Her husband, Marco Martel, who's been taking care of their 3 children, including that newborn baby, tells CTV News his wife has opened her eyes but hasn't been very responsive. He also says doctors say her brain is still swollen and that he misses her old self. A GoFundMe to support the family has raised nearly $20,000.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
All right, let's turn our eyes to the forecast. A lot of people will want to be outside the next 10 days, of course, for stampeding.
Rides, poutine, rodeo, whatever it is. She's shouting donuts from over there, if you didn't hear her. Yes, donuts. That's one of the #1 things for sure. It's not going to be too hot this weekend, so it's a really nice weekend to head out because you're not going to be dealing with excessive heat that will be arriving next week. 18 degrees is the temperature in Calgary at the moment. We can expect similar temperatures for tomorrow as well. 22 in Lethbridge and Milk River, Brooks, Drumheller, and Medicine Hat in those mid-20s. So what's been happening is we had a ridge of high pressure in place. This has shifted mainly out now, still holding a little bit of heat in that southeast corner, as you just saw. But we're looking at another ridge building in. Now, it will start to build in Monday, but you'll really notice a difference on Tuesday and Wednesday for most communities. And in fact, likely we'll have heat warnings issued once again for many communities in southern Alberta. We may even see that in Calgary because we're along the border of really meeting that warning criteria for Tuesday and Wednesday. So heads up on that one. Here's the system that's rolling in. So this is why we've had the cloud cover creep into Calgary. We had a little bit of a windy afternoon at times, but nothing crazy. The rainfall already making its way into the Lethbridge area. Thunderstorm activity on the BC side. And we're looking at a significant rainfall for Lethbridge and especially over off to the west of Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, Crozes Pass. Here's a better look at the system, and it will deliver that widespread long-term rainfall to areas south of Calgary. It may reach as far north as Okotoks and give a couple millimeters there. Here you go is the timeline. So for this evening, it will build and intensify into the Pincher Creek, Crozes Pass area. Overnight, really intensifying in the Lethbridge area, creeping into the Medicine Hat area, and even Okotoks, as you can see here. Looks like that's as far north as it goes. Now, there will still be isolated sprinkles, likely in the city, but nothing significant and nothing long-lasting, as we're on the outside edge of this. And then thunderstorm activity later in the day tomorrow for Medicine Hat. We likely won't see that in Calgary because it doesn't look like it will have the strength. It will develop, but it doesn't look like it will make its way this far off to the east. So our best chance of seeing any sort of isolated shower in Calgary is tomorrow morning. Should be dry in the afternoon. Here's a look, an idea. This is likely an underestimation for Pincher Creek, 20 millimeters possible here, even 20 for Lethbridge. And then because of the thunderstorm potential later in the day, Medicine Hat maybe 3 millimeters. Calgary, we're looking at under 1 millimeter. 19 for tomorrow is our high. Afternoon thunderstorms are possible on Sunday, but the morning looks nice and dry. Mid-20s by Monday as that next ridge builds in and into the 30s by the time we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
Wildfires in northwestern Manitoba are forcing the evacuation of a community for the second time this season. The town of Lynn Lake has issued a mandatory evacuation order. A nearby wildfire is threatening to cause an imminent loss of power to the community. If the blaze affects transmission lines, an outage could last up to a month. Other fires in the area could cut off travel between Lynn Lake and Thompson. The community's 600 residents were displaced for nearly a month, starting in May, because of a rapidly advancing wildfire. There are concerns warm weather and lightning could threaten the firefight in BC as drought conditions persist. The Eisman Creek fire is burning near Lytton, where temperatures are set to hit 30 degrees this weekend. Heavy smoke in the area has prompted an air quality advisory. That fire was caused by sparks from an RCMP trailer when a side wheel flew off. There are also several fires in northeastern BC.
All other fires in the zone are either lightning or overwinter fires from 2023, which started a few fires in 2024 and are now showing up in 2025. As early as last week, we had a few fires come back to life after being dormant for the winter. So very challenging conditions, fires digging in really deep in some of those organic soils in the boreal forest.
The BC Wildfire Service is reminding anyone traveling in the area to check drivebc.ca for road closures. In northwestern Saskatchewan, hundreds of people have fled the community of Beauval. It's one of 5 towns under wildfire evacuation orders in the province. Saskatchewan has 65 active wildfires. Alberta has 50 fires burning right now, 14 of those out of control. A heat wave continues to grip much of Europe. In Paris, it's so hot, old underground electrical cables are failing, causing dozens of power outages. Crews are replacing old wires with cables that are less sensitive to the heat. In Spain, temperatures soared above 40 degrees in many places, forcing tourists to seek shade and air conditioning. Folding fans are a hot seller at many souvenir shops. And at the Rome Zoo, some animals had a fun way to beat the heat. Brown bears, tigers, and lemurs were just some of the residents to get icicles packed with meat, fruit, and veggies. Still to come on CTV News at 6, the convoy to Kyiv, a powerful journey and the special delivery to help soldiers in Ukraine. And a long-awaited tour kicks off. Oasis ends its 16-year hiatus with a concert in Cardiff. Ukraine has suffered its largest aerial assault of the war. Ukrainian officials say Russia launched 550 drones and missiles overnight. Kyiv was the primary target. Authorities say one person was killed, at least 26 injured. The strike on the capital happened hours after Donald Trump spoke with his Russian counterpart. The U.S. president later said he doesn't think Vladimir Putin is looking to stop the fighting. Trump spoke with Volodymyr Zelensky today. The Ukrainian president said they discussed air defenses, joint defense production, and purchases. We'll consider this a road trip like no other. A Calgary man was part of a massive convoy traveling all the way from Estonia to Ukraine to deliver military vehicles to the front lines in that war against Russia. Tyler Barrow has the details.
One day we just decided, let's just do it.
It didn't take much to convince Calgarian Luke Graham to deliver a military-purpose truck to Ukraine. Longtime friend James Gordon of Kelowna floated the idea by him in mid-May.
All of a sudden, it was like, oh, it's booked. It's on. We're booking tickets.
Both had been donating for years to the organization Help 99, which provides vehicles to Ukrainian soldiers on the front lines. James Gordon decided to take it one step further, outright buying a truck for $35,000 Canadian.
If you donate a little bit more money, as in buy a truck, you can actually join one of the convoys.
They landed in Estonia on June 12th, a couple of approximately 50 volunteers convoying 30 vehicles. On the 14th, they departed from the port city of Tallinn at 5 a.m., passing through Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland before reaching the Ukrainian border that evening. They arrived in the capital at 9:30 a.m. the next day, traveling nearly 1,900 kilometers. Approximately 24 hours later, handing over the keys to Ukrainian special forces.
In general, everyone was super positive, hopeful, appreciative.
Suddenly you're in a country where, it's at war and in theory, anything could happen at any moment.
The two were there when Russia launched one of the deadliest attacks on the Ukrainian capital this year, killing 12 people. Graham himself capturing this video, the attack and the journey, leaving a mark on the two.
Words and money do so much, but time to try to make more of a difference and contribute, and something I wanted to do.
They departed Kyiv that day. Gordon had an adventure to share with his parents, who were unaware of their mission.
Figured they would be pretty worried, and they were thankful that I didn't.
Graham's wife was almost 8 months pregnant when he got home.
One of the reasons I married her is she supports me in everything I do.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Wow. Well, still to come, they were in the right place at the right time, and they think they captured something incredible on video. Now the experts are debating whether this is ball lightning. That story is just ahead. Canada is certainly no stranger to wild, extreme, sometimes even dangerous weather. One couple in Rich Valley, Alberta, that's just a tiny hamlet northwest of Edmonton, just managed to capture a stunning video of what appears to be a rare phenomenon known as ball lightning. Here's CTV's John Vinavalley-Rao.
While thunderstorms can produce all sorts of spectacular displays, what this Alberta couple saw this week was truly next level.
What is it?
Capturing this bizarre and brilliant ball of light moving across the horizon.
It's like a fireball, but not really. It's the wrong color.
They say the spectacle lasted about a minute and began with a bolt of lightning that struck just under a kilometer from their home. Ed Party says it spawned the display.
It was probably anywhere from 1 meter to 2 meters in diameter, so it was fairly large. And then, I don't know, about 20 feet above the ground.
The couple were amazed and scrambled to film it with a phone.
I was like, what is this? I've never seen this before. No, it was pretty neat.
A neat sight that had Ed immediately wondering if it was the mysterious thing he'd read about as a kid called ball lightning.
After we shut the video off and it disappeared, I'm like, oh, so that's what that looks like.
For more than a century, there have been reported sightings of rare and strange floating energy balls that are said to have even gone into people's homes. Though several supposed videos of ball lightning have been debunked as fakes.
We've got this really bright light out here.
We asked longtime storm chaser George Karunas for his opinion.
If this is indeed ball lightning, this is one of the best ball lightning videos I've ever seen.
But he wonders if what we're seeing is the result of lightning hitting a power line and an arc of electricity traveling along it.
This exhibits all the characteristics of a persistent, slow-moving, arcing power line.
Ed and Melinda doubt that.
Definitely not.
No, it's a long ways away from our power line.
And they say no matter what this is, it was cool to see. John Vinavalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Today's the day Oasis fans have been waiting for nearly 16 years. The Gallagher brothers are back. This is Oasis kicking off their Live 25 reunion tour in Cardiff, Wales tonight. The last Oasis live gig was back in 2009 at V Festival in Staffordshire, England. This new tour includes 41 dates with a pair of back-to-back shows in Toronto at the Rogers Stadium in August.
Oh,
you flying to Toronto for that? I know you were a big Oasis fan.
I am. Which shows my age, I think, a little bit. But yes, big Oasis fan, and no, unfortunately not going.
It's big that they're back. Okay, we all know kids can say the darndest things, even when they can't fully speak.
Which one? Is it?
It is purple.
This little guy just learned the color purple, but he adds a little pizzazz to the word. He's got a little raspberry at the start there. I don't know how you would keep a straight face with this little kid.
He's very serious and proud of himself.
Maybe that is how you say it.
Maybe it is.
I hope he always says it that way.
Yeah.
That's good.
From now on.
Yeah. Fishermen usually brag about their catch, but not this guy. He's more proud of his throw.
Actually doesn't level up. Here we go. How good is that?
So good. This guy lines it up. He throws the fish just perfectly for this eagle to swoop in and grab it. The raptor just flies off with his lunch. That's a fishtail. That's pretty good
to show the kids, though.
Yeah.
That's memorable right there.
Obviously, the eagle was sort of hanging around watching.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have that if you're not going to eat it.
Right.
BC may be the birthplace of the Nanaimo bar, but 5 kids in Ontario believe they have made the world's largest one just a couple of months after a similar feat on Vancouver Island.
5 kids making a 1,200 pounder to give back to youth. That's so inspirational.
Yeah, 1,200-pound Nanaimo bar is part of a fundraiser for charity. The kids say the massive dessert took one full, look at that piece.
Oh, and it looks so good, too.
I know. It took a full day to bake. It took 2 weeks to plan. It comes 5 years after their family first set the Guinness World Record for the largest Nanaimo bar. But they say this time they're not going to submit it to Guinness. They just want to give others a chance to hold the record. Because, if that sounds familiar, it was just 2 months ago on Vancouver Island that university students in Nanaimo laid claim to the world's largest Nanaimo bar. It also weighed more than 1,200 pounds. The recipe called for the butter equivalent to the weight of a baby elephant. The event raised money to buy new ovens for the university's culinary programs.
And I mean, I feel like we should throw this out there. You're always welcome to invite members from CTV out if you plan on doing these kinds of delicious record
Nobody says no to Nanaimo bars. Nobody. Right? Nobody. Just ahead, it's a buyer's market for Calgary condos, and other parts of the country are experiencing something similar. We'll explain in our business report just ahead.
Here's your Skywatch weather camera, and the clouds have rolled in, but that's predominantly what we're getting in Calgary from this system. It's a big system stateside, and it's going to push a lot of rain to areas south of Calgary over these next 24 hours, starting mainly tonight. 18 degrees is that current temperature. Today's high was just 18, so we're, 4 degrees below normal for this time of year. So certainly a break right now from the excessive heat we had earlier this week, and that excessive heat will be back in early next week. So enjoy the break that we're getting from the heat right now. 18 the high in Calgary, 17 in Edmonton, still into the 20s in much of Saskatchewan, and still into the 30s in central and southern Manitoba. Okay, radar and satellite, there is that system. We need rain in many communities, so this is not a bad thing. There will be heavier rain from Lethbridge over to Pincher Creek, Christmas Pass. That looks to be the bullseye area for the system. We may pick up a couple millimeters in Medicine Hat, and if anything in Calgary, yes, we'll get some cloud cover. Yes, we'll have the cooler temperatures. Yes, we'll get windy conditions at times. We may pick up to a millimeter. Our best chance of any rainfall is tomorrow morning. So a small chance of an isolated shower this evening and overnight, very small chance, definitely the cloud cover. Tomorrow morning is when we get into about a little bigger of a chance, so 40% chance of an isolated shower. And then by the afternoon, it should be dry, but mainly cloudy and windy. All right, on the BC side, you're looking at showers for Fernie, you're looking at dry conditions for Edmonton, Rocky Mountain House, and Red Deer, and basically Olds, Calgary, and Banff. Again, small chance of morning showers, and then a greater chance of heavier rain, especially from Christmas Pass, Pincher Creek over to Lethbridge. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. We're going to go back to Stampede Park tonight. Prime Minister Mark Carney has just arrived on the grounds. Our Mark Villani is down there as well. So, Mark, what is the PM up to tonight?
Well, Tara, as we speak, Prime Minister Carney was just spotted walking through the BMO Centre to plenty of fanfare. A lot of people asking for selfies. He's taking plenty of photos, speaking with dozens of people and shaking lots of hands. He was even spotted sampling some fudge and talking to some of the vendors here. Now, Mark Carney will be in town for the Stampede. He's expected to meet with Calgary Mayor Jody Gondek. He'll be at a Stampede breakfast tomorrow morning as well, and he will be at an event hosted by the Canadian Chamber of Commerce in the afternoon. He's also scheduled to host a party fundraising event with Energy Minister Tim Hodgson and Emergency Management Minister Eleanor Olszewski. Now, politicians of all stripes are always looking to make their pitch during the Calgary Stampede. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre was at the Calgary Stampede parade this morning. He'll be hosting a barbecue tomorrow. Certainly lots to talk about with him heading into a much anticipated by-election. Later on next week as well, we are expected to hear from Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who will be in attendance. It's pancakes in politics. Sometimes it's called a political petting zoo, but certainly a lot of politicians trying to make their pitch heading over here into the greatest outdoor show on earth. Tara.
Indeed. Okay, Mark, thank you. The Stampede Parade this morning had 110 entries, and it lasted more than 2 hours. Here's a look at the action. We've sped it up into a high-speed time-lapse. if you missed the parade or you want to see the whole thing again, we have it for you in its entirety at regular speed on our website and on the CTV News Calgary YouTube channel. We told you yesterday, condo sales are down in Calgary. Concerns about the economy are keeping home buyers at bay in southern Ontario, too. Here's BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez.
Home sales in Toronto and the surrounding area jumped 8% between May and June in signs of a recovery for the real estate sector. Sales are up in Toronto this year over last, and it's a buyer's market, with the benchmark price of a home hovering around $978,000. Last June, it was over $1 million. But in the surrounding areas, sales were down more than 5%. Let's see how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar dropped a fraction to 73.50. West Texas Intermediate is down to 66.50. Our fix on Western Canadian Select has it down to 54.91. And the TSX eked out another record close, moving less than 2 points, but ending the day at 27,036. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Donald Trump is celebrating July 4th at the White House, where he has now signed into law his tax cut and spending bill.
We're adding things like the biggest tax cut in the history of our country.
The bill will fund the U.S. president's immigration crackdown, make his 2017 tax cuts permanent, and could leave millions of Americans without health insurance. Republicans say the legislation will boost economic growth. Analysts predict it will add $3.4 trillion to the nation's debt. Alberta's new referendum rules are now in effect. Starting today, the new threshold to hold a referendum will be 177,000 signatures collected within 4 months. The Premier has talked about separatist sentiment being a big reason for the changes. This week, Elections Alberta approved a referendum question, but it's from a group that wants Alberta to stay in Canada. Pierre Poilievre is officially registered to run in the Battle River Crowfoot by-election. The federal Conservative leader lost his Ottawa area seat in the April election. The Alberta by-election will take place August 18th. The Stampede Rodeo is now underway. Glenn joins us in a moment with the highlights, and he'll explain some of the changes made to events this year. The Toronto Blue Jays won another exciting game last night. They beat New York 8-5, and it is the first time the Jays have ever swept the Yankees in Toronto. They now sit alone at the top of the American League East. It was day one of the Stampede Rodeo. Glenn's live on the grounds tonight. And Glenn, there are some changes this year.
Well, Tara, we knew how it was a new event this year. It's called breakaway roping. It was pretty cool on day number one. Also, now only 3 competitors from each pool advance to Championship Sunday. Before, it used to be 4. Let's check out all the action from day one of the Stampede Rodeo. We're going to start things off with the bareback, and that's Mason Stoller of Veneta, Oregon. This is the 21-year-old's second Stampede, and he's on soap bubbles. The two combined for an 88-point round, tied in the bareback. Ladies barrel racing now. What a run it was for Anita Ellis of Blackfoot, Idaho today. She was lightning fast, got around those barrels in 16.89 seconds. No one was going to beat that. She's the best in ladies barrel racing and gets a first place check of $7,000. Now to a little tie down roping, and we had some great times out there today. Best turned in by Riley Pruitt of Gering, Nebraska. He ropes and ties that calf in 7.1 seconds. That was the best of the day in tie down roping. Steer wrestling now, that's Kyle Irwin of Robertsville, Florida, and he was the last cowboy out, but he saved the best for last. Irwin gets it down in 4.3 seconds. That was the best of the day. Saddlebranch now, that is Brody Kress of Hillsdale, Wyoming. He's on Perlick, killing time. What a ride this was. They combined for an 88.5-point ride. Best of the day in the Saddlebranch. Now, the new event, breakaway roping, they are quick, and in Alberta was the best of the day. Shelby Beaujolais-Medjit turned in the fastest time. Get this, 2.3 seconds, fastest of the day. Finally, we've got the big bad bulls, and the last cowboy out of the chutes, Tristan Hutchings of Mountain View, Idaho. He was on Alberta Prime Devil's Advocate. What a ride this was. They combined for 88.5 points. First place check of $7,750. And And a little note from the Chuck Wagons tonight, they go at 7:30 as opposed to 8 o'clock as they usually do. All right, the inaugural Stampede Bowl went last night. The Stampeders up against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and this was the trophy that they were battling for. And I have to say, it looks pretty awesome indeed. Great start for the Stamps. Opening drive, Vernon Adams airs one out for Clark Barnes. He makes the catch and drags a couple of Bombers into the end zone. That's Vernon Adams' first touchdown pass of the season. Stamps with the early lead. Still in the first quarter, Stamps add to that lead. Zach Calero's back to pass. Damon Webb, he steps in front of Dick Dembski, and he will take this one all the way into the end zone. So the Stamps at that point with a 15-3 lead. Second quarter, Stamps keep that pressure on. Adams dumps it off to Damon Alford, and the #1 draft pick from this year's CFL draft takes it in for the major. It was all Stamps as they led 22-3. It was a really big first half for the Stamps after a big pass play from Adams to Jalen Philpott, who took it down to the 2-yard line. Dedrick Mills would take it in from there. His 5th touchdown of the season, and it was 29-3 for the Stampeders. Second half, Stamps up 30-9. Bombers driving, but Caleros is picked off again. This time, Derek Moncrief. He has nothing but open real estate as he takes it into the end zone. What a game it was for the Stamps. 37-16, and that's the way this one would end up. The Stamps take the first ever Stampede poll, and the Stamps, they are back in action next Friday night as they're in Regina to take on the Rough Riders. They're now 3-1, by the way. Good start for the Stamps, Tara.
Good stuff, Glenn. Thank you. Have fun down there tonight on day 1. Let's bring Danielle back in now as we get our final peek at the weather.
And look at Glenn shining so bright down there. I love it. Okay, with regards to the weather, there is a system tracking into the province from the States. But for Calgary, it looks like we're going to be on the outside edge. Now, there's a small chance of an isolated shower for the evening and the overnight hours. We have a decent chance of seeing a little sprinkle tomorrow morning, and then should be dry tomorrow afternoon and a high of 19, but windy and a decent amount of cloud cover tomorrow afternoon. All right, that's your Action Furnace 24-hour forecast. Fixed right or it's free. Okay, let's talk about the next 10 days here because I didn't get a chance to show you earlier. If you like the heat, it will be back Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. You can see we should get into the 30s, which is well above normal, and even to kick off next week, mid-20s. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And Roy Miller sent this one in from Longview. So quintessential Alberta as we kick into Stampede, Tara.
That is a very Alberta shot.
Right?
That's beautiful.
And calming.
Yes, lovely. Well, thank you for your company tonight. We're going to leave you with some of the highlights again of this morning's Stampede Parade. Have a terrific weekend.
There she is. You were made for this moment.
We've been preparing for the past 3 years. We've grown up at this parade.
A lot of people out. Wow.
Tip obviously is get here early, get at the beginning of the parade, they're nice and fresh, and because on the other side they might be a little sluggish and tired, so this is the prime spot to be.
Yeah.